But what I want to talk about are the good people over at DraftKings and DraftKings Casino. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, their new app that they have, and it is phenomenal, like we always talk about with DraftKings. But with their casino app, man, you're able to on your phone, right on the app, you can bet on some of the slot games, the table games, any of your board style stuff. I mean, you talk about blackjack, roulette, any of that type of stuff, and you're able to play right on this app right here, man. It's an awesome concept. And the thing that I absolutely enjoy the most about DraftKings Casino,
they're generous.
Very generous is a nice way to put it, right? Because if you use the promo code MOATS, you will receive not $1,000, but $2,000 in deposit bonus money, ladies and gentlemen. It's an awesome situation. You can't beat it, honestly, man. Shout out to DraftKings Casino for that and for them rocking with the show. But, Deke, we know every once in a while we have to talk about disclaimers, information. I get that. But I don't want to go there just yet. So what I want to say is this also. If gambling isn't available, like the sports gambling and stuff like that, or just casino gambling isn't available where you currently live, don't forget about DraftKings Fantasy Football app as well, okay? Where you're able to do some of the... We did that out in LA as well, right? That was a lot of fun, man.
Whoa.
Or no, LA,
Green Bay.
Green Bay. Yeah, we did it in Green Bay.
Head-to-head showdown.
That was dope, man. So, you know, you could do the head-to-heads and stuff like that. They're giving, I think, it's $1 million in prizes weekly on their Fantasy Football app. So you got some options with that. But last and certainly not least, if you have a gambling problem, if you need counseling, if you need referral services,
don't be hesitant.
Don't wait. You better call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Next comment. Mike Matizic, am I right?
Yep, you're good, man.
Cool. Steelers can't keep playing like this. Only playing hard in fourth quarter won't work. You have to play 4 quarters, not just one. He's from Beaconfield, New Jersey, the 201.
Yeah, I'll start with
I thought we
this.
Played solid all the way around, though, in like the Ravens game.
Yeah.
Over the past 4 games, though, I get what he said. Bengals game,
no.
Chargers, we start off slow.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, we start off slow, too.
And then Lions before Chargers. I wouldn't say that was...
No, that was just
defensively,
sloppy game, probably.
Though, we were slow.
Oh, yeah, the second quarter was terrible.
Yeah. But, trying to fix the slow start. Part of me, when you talk about fixing that slow start, little things do matter a lot more. Typically, you don't harp on the penalty, right? The Chase Claypool point in the guy's face thing, but it is a drive killer. It kills you and it hurts your momentum early in games. Like, if our offense was always how it was in that fourth quarter, then those type of things don't matter as much. A holding penalty here doesn't matter as much. A missed block or a drop doesn't matter as much. But right now, the way our team is set up, we talk about the margin of error. We say it's small. We say you can't turn the ball over. We say you can't have a ton of penalties. You can't have self-inflicted wounds. Well, our team, offensively, defensively, and even on special teams at times, we have a lot of self-inflicted wounds. I mean, we even had a missed field goal yesterday, right? Now, it's not the end of the world, but that still is partially self-inflicted on us, right? I mean, for both of these guys, which is crazy, man. I was like, oh, man, well, everybody got to get the yipsies today. What's happening, man? What's happening? But that's self-inflicted. It throws off your momentum. It keeps you from scoring points. It makes their defense feel a lot better about themselves, and ultimately it gets their offense more momentum. And in a game like how yesterday was going, where we were having the shortcomings and they were actually able to capitalize on some of their possessions early on, that's why the game got to where it did. And you're put in a situation where we're having to fight our tails off to get back and come back and make it close. They're trying to kill the clock and barely escape out of there. And we get these moments where it's either going to end like the Ravens game where it bounces in our favor, or it's going to end like how it did last night where it bounced opposite of us. But realistically, both of those games, they fit, like the story in terms of how it got there was different. But as a whole, it's the same game. It's 2 weeks in a row in terms of just the end of it, right? Now,
almost 3 if you want to include the Chargers.
Seriously, man, it's just like
3 out of the last 4.
We keep seeing how our team is, and that's why I always say we're inconsistent, because at times we are a really good team. At times we have excellent players and they all play at a high level, but we have these lapses for not just a possession or two. And that's the difference too. When we talk about some of the more respected teams or even more respected players, we're not saying that anybody's going to be perfect because nobody's perfect, but the lapses are shorter. You know what I mean? Like Kirk Cousins, for example, right? First half, lights out, but then quarter and a half, essentially, that third until at the end of the fourth, he looked bad. That's why he's not an elite guy, right? When we talk about, I'm trying to think, I'm drawing blank off the top of my head, but like it's certain players, we watch him, it's like, okay, he might look elite for, 90% of the game. He'll have a little stretch here where it's bad, but the majority of the time he looks elite. That's the difference. Like when we're talking about our team, we're talking about, why we're good at times, but we're not consistent enough, and that's why our record is what it is. We can't stay in the ballpark when we have our drop off, and it lasts for too long. We can't have halves like the first half for either side of the ball. Like as bad as the O-line was playing, I didn't know if I was more embarrassed with the O-line's protection or with the defense's run defense. Yeah. Like which one could you say you was more pissed off with? Because they were both absolutely horrendous.
Yep,
it was crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty much equal at that point. Yeah. What do you think about the coaching versus players in terms of blame for these starts?
Oh, man. This is always my biggest dilemma. I feel like a good amount goes on the coaches, but more should always fall on the players. 60-40. I would go 60-40. 40% because I do feel like some of the scheming early on in games and some of the early in-game adjustments offensively and defensively are piss poor at times. I do think that...
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing on offense, man. I got to the point where I'm just like, go 5 wide, let Ben sling it, like what we did in the fourth quarter.
It irks me at times. I'm just like, why does... like you should be able to adjust faster than that at the NFL level. That's my only thing. I'm just like, I feel like it takes too long for them to figure it out, to figure out how defenses are playing this offense, not even from a personnel standpoint, just grand scheme, big picture, coordinator, coaching staff stuff. Defensively also, I mean, how long does it take you to realize, hey, this guy can't guard this guy? Or how long does it take you to realize, hey, we can't play, a nickel defense and think we're going to stop Dalvin Cook? You better go base. In fact, you better bring extra safety in because clearly they're trying to run this rock and we don't have an answer for that. Those type of things. It's like, why does it have to take so long? But I can't put it all on them because they're not out there on that field. The players are on that field, and I've had bad coaches before, and you tell yourself, hey, okay, am I going to use this bad coach as an excuse? And when I play bad, I'm going to just keep blaming it on the coach. Eventually, that excuse going to run out because they're going to get rid of that coach. But when it's time for me to get paid, I'm not going to get my money because they don't want to hear about that coach excuse. They're going to say, what are you doing on this field? So I still feel like as a player, regardless of what these coaches are talking about, you got to do your own studying. You got to make sure you're mentally prepared to go. You got to make sure you're hyped up enough early in these games. So when you're out there and they're running that ball down your throat, you say, all right, we done with this. It's not happening anymore. Let me turn it back. That's the part where I say that falls solely on the players. Like you can't just, hey, put it on the coach. Like, nah, you got to be a man about this. You the one that's out there. That coach, man, he can coach till he blue in the face. He ain't tackling a body. He's not blocking anyone. He's not throwing a pass or catching a ball. Like, that's just the reality of it. So in the end, the player still has to have more of the onus in that situation.
Someone asked Tomlin about it in his press conference too, and he said coaches ain't out there playing and stuff. He's like, what do you mean? Like, are the coaches supposed to get off the blocks, or the coach supposed to do this and that? Because I'm assuming he thinks that what we were doing, at least in the first half, was at least enough coaching wise. It was just more of like the players not getting it done.
Run game wise, sure. Pass game wise, I
agree, dude. I agree with that, bro. I was fed up with Canada yesterday.
Pass game wise, I'm just like, what are you doing? Pass game wise, it's like you can make some adjustments.
Are you talking about defense, pass game?
Both sides. Like offense. Early on, both sides. Yeah, because for me, defensively, the whole we just gonna keep Cam Sutton and just let him run around with him. I'm like, just athletically wise, Akello's a better athlete, right? So even
Locked him up.
But even so, if you know you're going to be double teaming him or having the safety helping you, why not put a better athlete on him and have Cam match up against the other guy? Was a 17 or the Osborne? So it's like, yeah, Osborne is still a good player, but he's not the same.
Cam did have good coverage on that bomb,
right? So it's like he's not going to be the same level of a threat. Justin is different. It's elite level of athletic ability. It's like the Jamar Chase conversation we had. You know, certain players is like just athletically, that's not the matchup you want. So that was another part. I'm just like, well, that's an easy flip. It ain't like either one of those guys in terms of the corners are, oh, he has to play this side. He has to play that side. Oh, he travels. Like, nah, we don't do that. So go ahead and put him over there.
It's kind of like Claypool. I got mixed emotions about it because I'm texting with my cousin. We're going back and forth. We're like, what the hell is like Butler doing on defense? Like, should he get fired after this? I know we were talking about it a little bit last week, but then we see the second half performance. It's like, okay, I guess you got to give him some credit for that, and especially with how the players played. For offense, I'm just good with like, dude, give it to Ben. Let him run the offense. Let Canada scheme up his first 15 plays, whatever the hell it is, and hope we don't get a penalty from Claypool, and then just let Ben run it if things are going bad. Like, as fast as like the second quarter. That's where I'm at with it.
I just wish it wouldn't have to get to it being bad. That's my whole thing, man. It gets too bad too quick. Too bad too quick. Whew.
Now watch, home game, Titans.
Oh, we'll look different. We'll look great again. That's how we always do.
Especially if TJ's back.
Come on.
Highsmith's back.
And we'll
Joe's back.
People
with
come back
Kello
in here.
on the other side.
We'll be singing the same song. Oh, man. Hey, 1 seed. What's up? All right. 3 seed. But we're the favorite, though. I like us a lot. That's how we're going to feel. And then the following week, I don't even know who we play after Tennessee.
I think it's KC on the road.
KC. Oh, after Christmas, too, the 26th. We'll have a stinker out there, and then we'll be like, dang, we suck again. And then we'll beat Cleveland. We'll beat Baltimore. No, we'll beat Cleveland, lose to Baltimore. Something fluky like that. You know that's how it goes, man. That's what this team is right now, man. It's unfortunate. They playing with us, bro. They teasing us. You know?
We could beat all those teams, dude.
And that's the thing.
Like, Chiefs are very vulnerable too. I get the whole aura about them, but no, they're vulnerable.
They're vulnerable.
They really are.
The same way this Vikings team was vulnerable, the same way that Ravens team, the same way that Chargers team. All them teams that we play, we could beat. All of them we can. But which version of us is going to show up? And that's what when we was talking before the game, was like, yo, I don't know what version of us is going to show up and for what quarter. We talk about our offense. We saw multiple versions of that last night. You talk about the defense, multiple versions of that. You talk about Ben, the receivers, multiple versions of that. You talk about our pass rush, multiple versions of that, right? It's just like, I just don't know who we are. Just don't know.
I would have thought maybe that Chargers game would be like the wake up call of like, oh, you see what we could do in the fourth quarter if we just all put it together. And then we saw the Bengals game happen, but then we saw the Ravens. It's like, bro, we just beat the number 1 seed in the AFC. We could do this. 4 games left. Like, we have to win every one, in my opinion, to control your destiny. Now, if we go 3-1, now we might be relying on some other things, which is very possible because all these AFC teams are facing off against each other. A lot of these teams that are in the mix got tough matchups, but I don't want to be relying on that. Let's just win the next 4.